I don't know if you've noticed, but reading and writing's not my strength. So,
You're getting old, Katherine. Welcome to the club.
Wake up, little bunny.
You've got to enjoy it in a sick way, haven't you?
Yeah, he called someone pathetic.
That's the bunny rabbit.
Hello, and welcome to Under the Lid, the pro cricket show with me, Jack Brooks.
And me, Katherine Sciver-Brunt. Well, it's been quite the week, hasn't it? After our last week's episode with Natalie, the wife, lots of feedback, all really good actually. Some really kind words. So yeah, I've had lots of attention and even more information come my way. So very thankful, guys. So thanks for that.
Amazing. Yeah, you've got more attention than normal. Well, it has been it's a pretty huge week, wasn't it, news-wise? Yeah, mad. How's it been in the household between the two of you? Have you two had time to reflect? Like, where's your conversations gone?
Not really, because Nat's had 2 internationals in 3 days, so she's been pretty busy, pretty swamped. But obviously, my work for the next few months is in media, isn't it? So I get to see all these things and hear them all, and loads of people have just reached out from literally everywhere. It's been pretty cool, to be honest. So yeah, it's been all right.
You've opened up a whole new world now, haven't you? That's fantastic.
Yeah, well, I hope so. I hope that's the future. That's the normal. People can like play their cricket and not stress out about getting old eggs and things.
And how was Nat after those 2 games? I saw she didn't contribute hugely in terms of the bat, and she didn't bowl, obviously, but she okay?
Yeah, she's fine. Obviously not bowling, but fielding's fine. She's got a bit of a dodgy knee. You know when you smash your knee in the ground, you end up with like loads of fluid in it.
Oh yeah, a bit swollen.
And then when you run in, it's just shit in it. So yeah, she's been nursing that a bit, but it's just like anything, and it once you're back to cricket, you feel a bit like going to hospital for a couple of weeks, don't you? So she's just in the sore phase. Everything hurts, but she'll be right. I've told her to calm down with the experimental cricket and just hit the ball.
Ibuprofen, game ready, bit of rest, you'll be fine.
What a combo!
How's your week been then? What are you up to other than a bit of commentary? Well, yeah, talk to us through your commentary and anything else you'll be getting up to.
Yeah, I've had a pretty full-on week actually since the women's stuff kicked off. Obviously, county first, but only just behind the international stuff. So the commentary started, and once it starts, it gets pretty full on. I don't normally tuck into loads of commentary. I like to have a bit of a rest in between, because I actually want to go and watch her play rather than just sit there commentating and being nice. I'd rather slate her from hospitality. So
you can't drink when you're commentating either, can you?
No. And there's all these hospitality boxes now. The girls, we never had them before this season, so they introduced them into the Ashes last year, and I was like, this is what it's about. This is what I'm about. So yeah, I did that, and then try not to swear. Obviously, it's quite hard. I know I do have a potty mouth, but I'm working on it, guys. I've not managed to do it on commentary yet, so still got a job. And then obviously they won the series and wrapped it up last night. So naturally, you just have a little bit of a party, don't you?
100%.
I don't know about you, but nearing 40, I'm not sure hangovers, they don't really agree anymore.
You're getting old, Katherine. Welcome to the club.
Yeah. Well, it's not the one for me. So I need to be selective. I think I'll save myself now for Danny Wyatt's hen do. And that's in the mighty leads as well. So
loose.
I know she's great, to have as a mate, because she just knows everyone in every city. So if I go somewhere, I'm like, Dan, where's good to eat? Or who do you know? Next minute, I've got a table at somewhere where you have to book in for 4 months, or I'm in a nightclub. I've just got in, no waiting. She's great, honestly. If you've got any troubles, Jack, just let me know.
Connector.
Yeah. Anyway, what about yourself? What have you been up to? I think you've been bowling all right, haven't you?
I finished with Surrey last week, the twos game. Had a day at home, and then was genuinely thinking about going to Wembley on Saturday to watch Oxford United in the playoff final. Which Barnsley lost in the semi, didn't it? It'd be nice if Oxford played Barnsley against.
Don't remind me.
But we turned Bolton over. And I've just been listening to an opened up Boss Parade on Radio Oxford on the way back from coaching. So the Oxford boys will be going nuts. But I played club cricket on Saturday and I'm still stiff now. And this is now Monday night as we record. Still
Like you
feeling
said,
it.
you're getting old.
Yes, exactly. And I don't play or train that much anymore. So when I do, it does take a little bit longer to get over it. But did all
Just
right.
swim fresh.
Yeah, exactly. I was a little bit apprehensive at how it would come out, but 5 for 20 and a quick 8-wicket win turned out all right. So I was back home by
Nice.
5:30, 6 o'clock, something like that, which is very
That's the
handy.
dream.
So yeah, that was all good. Yeah, and off the back of surviving the Premier Inn last week down in that there London. So I've been coaching tonight at a. It's actually completely different, obviously, with Surrey twos most weeks, and then the odd bit of schooling I do. I'm at like a learning difficulty school, specialist learning difficulty school, which is completely other end of the spectrum of coaching. So it gives you a nice balance.
Yeah.
And now
I did have a little go at that, when I was working with Chance to Shine for a few
Yeah.
years. And it's so tiring.
Yes.
Just like the level of attention you need to give and how you got to be. Hats off to people who do that regularly.
Yeah,
It
100%.
is very rewarding, but it's hard, isn't it?
You just got it's completely different communication style. You've also got to take your high performance hat off and professional cricketer and go, this isn't about making them professional cricketers. It's about enjoyment and actually trying to just communicate better, basically, and try and get them to go home happy with what they've been up to. But yeah, that's where we are. As we're here, remember you can send in any feedback or questions to us both by using the hashtag under the lid or email hello@underthelid.co.uk. Hopefully we've got a few today from the back of last week's pod with you and Nat. And as always, this podcast is brought to you in partnership with the PCA and the Cricketer. The Cricketer, whose outstanding coverage of domestic cricket online has been recognised for 6 years in a row at the ECB Domestic Journalism Awards. And the PCA, obviously, our union, which looks out for all of us as pros during and after our careers. So we're back to a male guest this week. We've got a bit of a county cricket legend, and he's still going strong. He's been on the fringes of England teams before, and he's taken 28 wickets in the championship this year already, so he's dominating already. What do we know about him? He's Sam Cook's opening partner, our former guest, Sam Cook at Essex. Jamie Porter, of course. It's the partnership he's got with Sam is incredible. They've been around for a few years now, and they've pretty much spearheaded Essex to, I don't know how many titles they've won, 2 maybe. And they've obviously got Simon Harmer. They've just got a gun side. They're just really good to play. And they play hard, play fair, and they celebrate off field pretty well as well. They've got a nice reputation for being good at celebrating, shall we say. It'd be good to tap into him actually and see how similar he is to Cookie in his mindset, or how different they are as bowlers. And just looking at the current England with Broad and Anderson, not saying that they're at that level, but when you got two guys.
I can't believe you just referred to 2 blokes there. You could have said me and Anya, That would have been nice. I'll let you off though.
or Sciver-Brunt, sorry, and Shrubsole, who are both now retired.
But we had a great chat though, didn't we, with Sam? His partner in disguise. It was really great talking to him actually. He struck me as like really intelligent man who's like just puts a lot of thought into everything he does, including his little black book. So I'd like to see if Jamie's got one too, because he ought to have with all these wickets.
Well, he's got nearly
500 of them.
hasn't he?
So no, just a small.
Yeah, it'll be
number.
great to find out a bit more about him, how similar he is to Cookie. But let's go under the lid and let's get Jamie Porter in here.
Hi guys.
All right, Paul.
That is a fantastic poster you've got behind there.
The old Oasis. That was my fiance. That was a housewarming gift for the first place I bought, and now we're living together. It's finally up on the wall.
Lush. And my brother was obsessed with them, and then I became a bit obsessed too, because I just wanted to be like him. Great band. Have you seen them?
Yeah. No, unfortunately not. The one chance I had was the Ariana Grande festival in Manchester was my first like Lions kind of home series, and we had a day off, and all the Lancs boys had tickets.
Oh,
It was Oasis without Noel Gallagher, but because I was a late call up to that series, and me and my fiance were supposed to be in Italy, and the day before we flew, I had to cancel and go to Northampton instead. I figured
Similar
I'd
places.
better drive back to Essex, and so I figured I'd better drive back to Essex instead and spend the day with her.
they'll make mates when they're like 65 and you'll get a go. They'll reform.
They want to make some money at some point, won't
Yeah.
Defo. Taxman's
well,
coming
one
for
of
them.
them's bound to blow it, isn't it?
they? How are you feeling after your massive win against Warwickshire this week, mate?
I think there was one point yesterday where it was a bit all over the place. Actually, listening to your intro, Cookie is one man who was completely all over the place yesterday.
Uh-oh.
He was like, "How can no one get any runs on this wicket? It's so flat." I was a bit calmer than that, but yeah, no, great partnership by Coxie and Critch. I think when you're playing kind of the cricket we've played the kind of this early stage in the season, they're the kind of things you expect, but I think it can be easily taken for granted. But yes, unbelievable result.
It was just a mad
Especially when
scorecard.
we played that badly.
Looking at the scorecard, you had such a deficit first innings, and they only relied on 2 blokes to get all their runs. And then come their second innings, nobody decided to get any runs. You guys obviously bowled a lot better. And then set up beautifully, like you said, by Cox and Critchley, 2 guys that have joined you in recent years. 2 guys I don't know a hell of a lot about, obviously have played against them. But Critch in particular come into that team and he sort of made a number 6 and second spinner position his own. He's a hell of a cricketer, isn't he?
Oh, he's unbelievable. I think, obviously, the kind of seasons leading up to him coming to us, you kind of see how good he was with the bat. And he had 2,000 run seasons. But honestly, his bowling has really surprised me. He's got so much control. He spins it. He's brave. I think the thing you see with a lot of leggies is they get a bit scared because it's tough to bowl leg spin. You're going to go for runs. You're going to bowl some bad balls. But, Critch just doesn't get phased. He's prepared to have men round the bat and attack. And he, I feel kind of guilty for saying he backs up Harmy really well because I think, there are times where he's been just as effective as Harmy. But yeah, in kind of the way we set up as a side, he's really at the heart of that.
No, he's been a gun signing for you guys, particularly as obviously lost Lawrence, Cook, Tender Scarter in recent years, haven't you? Other guys have had to stand up. And then Jordan Cox, been a good signing for you guys. Tell us a little bit more about him as a character and a player.
Oh, yeah, great signing. He's a good lad. He's funny. Bit different to a lot of the lads. He's doesn't drink, which fair play to him. And he's a serious golfer. He says he's off scratch, but he's more of he's +1, +2. Like,
nice.
He told me he was off 2 the first time we played, and that was another loss for me. Another one to the other 1,000. But yeah, no, he's fitted in really well. He brings a lot of energy. Probably the best fielder I've ever seen, which was nice. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't want to field in the slips because of his injury last year. So
more importantly, what's his dress sense like?
It's all right. Typical cricketer with a bit of cash, I think. Youngster, more cash than sense. So. No, yeah, it's good.
Excellent.
Does he love wearing like rogue stuff from like charity shops or whatever, or is he like?
Nah, he's not. He's not like. I tell you, who's like. We had Harry Duke for 2 weeks, the young Yorkshire keeper batter. He's a great lad, but he's very much like the vintage, like the 1990s Nike polo T-shirt sort of thing.
They love it. Is it going to be like how much is everyone looking forward to the Kiwis for the T20 World Cup? They're bringing back some rogue stuff, aren't they? It looks pretty sweet, actually. Yeah. Quite like that.
I've seen some of that. They all bring back the mullets and all that as well, don't they?
Oh my god, that would be so good. They will all rock up like that. Now you've said. I'm gonna plug it. Fact. So you've had a great season start as a team. I think you're 6. Are you 5 out of 6? Something like that.
We
Top
are.
3.
We've played 6 now. 1, 3, lost 1, drawn 2.
Yeah,
I want to say.
I've got
Yeah,
that wrong
so
then. Nice.
we've played really well. I mean, we were unlucky at Somerset. A bit of a spicy wicket, lost a toss, got stuck in, and kind of played really well. The wicket was getting better as the game went on, and we probably ended up maybe 20 runs shy.
Yeah.
But apart from that, we've been, and probably for the first 2 days of this game, we've pretty much been
You
flawless.
never
I'd
lost
say.
to Somerset when I was there, mate. And I only beat you once at Yorkshire, I think, from memory.
Never.
Oh, you'd have loved bowling on what we played on a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, it was the near side. Wasn't
I'll
it?
tell you what. Talk about bowling half volleys. That was the best wicket I've ever bowled onto. Bowl half volleys.
Pitch up, Nick.
That's all I
Pitch
bowled.
up, Nick.
Just half volleys, and they nicked them. Yeah, that's brilliant.
That's
You just couldn't play that. You couldn't play a cover drive on that wicket.
oh dear. Great game. At least it's done quick and you can, get to the bar quicker. So I think
2
you're
days.
sitting in at 3, I think. I'm getting all this info wrong, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you're 3.
Second or third, I think.
Surrey's-
I haven't actually looked. But
Surrey's top, aren't they? And then
yeah.
you
Somerset second at the minute.
you finished second to them last year, didn't you? About 20 points
Yeah.
shy. That must have stung. What do you think your chances are this year? Do you think you overtake?
I think it helps playing them twice. We've got them last game at home this year, so that's a big thing for us. So I think if we're still in it, that's kind of gives us a massive advantage.
That would be a really good game to get to as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah, our place is. Yeah, we're pretty we're pretty lucky at home. We get good crowds in for Champo, and they're pretty vocal as well. So
I know.
yeah, they were good this week actually, considering that was the first game we've had at home for a while where we've been behind for most of it, and yeah, they were really good. Yeah, I think it'll sting more because Dan Lawrence has gone there now, so he's one of my best mates, but I want to win it. I don't want him to win it in his first year.
You've had not only have you had like a brilliant few seasons as a squad and a player, but in your T20 stuff, the Vitality Blast, pretty sure you made it to finals as well. How hungry are the lads to try and win it this year?
Yeah, I think that T20 campaign. Obviously, I didn't play, but the lads were that hurt the lads quite a bit because they were. I don't think Tom Kohler-Cadmore's Crooksy. You can bet. I don't think he's ever moving like that again.
He fell, didn't he? He
That
fell,
was
stuck out a hand.
Oh.
I think it just
Yeah,
it was the luck that Somerset had got through the competition. Really, they had played so well, didn't they, through the group?
But the one thing the lads did say that kind of softened the blow to losing that final is they did say, there's been a bit of a rivalry between us and Somerset over the years because we had a few years where it was us and them battling out for the championship, but they did say, Somerset probably were from the first game to the last game, they probably were the best team in that competition. So that kind of makes it feel a little bit better. I don't know. I mean, I was there on the day.
It made me feel better, mate. Finally winning something against Essex and getting a trophy.
Yeah, it was. I'll tell you what wasn't nice having to go back to the same hotel after. That was tough.
Mate, we did pre-season together about 4 years in a row, I reckon. 5 years in a row.
That's true. Yeah. Pretty much how you were that night is how we were every night of pre-season. It was Somerset. Fair play to them. They were unbelievable in the T20 comp last year. But I think for our group, we're still quite a young T20 group. So I think the performance last year would probably, in my eyes, have been like 1 year ahead of schedule in terms of like how far that group's come in such a short space of time. So I think, I'm definitely backing the boys to go all the way again this year and have a real good run.
You've always been competitive, mate. You've got such an experienced side with certain players as well. But you're good at home and you're good on finals day pitches, which tend to get harder to bat on, don't they? And you've got the bowlers that are probably set up for that, which is where probably Somerset have struggled in time. Listen, we mentioned Cookie, and you've mentioned him as well. You've obviously got a hell of an opening ball, new ball pair partnership with him. How different are you two as characters? Obviously, I've played against both of you, and I know you both reasonably well. But for our listeners and for Bronte maybe as well, how close are you as friends? But how different are you as bowlers and people?
So yeah, we're pretty close as friends. I think you would be. I think, well, just being in the Essex dressing room, you tend to become close with everyone. But obviously, me and Cookie have opened the bowling together for quite a long time now, and yeah, we've definitely developed a close friendship over the years. As new ball partners, I think it's a weird one because we kind of just we understand each other. I think we complement each other quite nicely. I think we're very similar but very different bowlers. Like he's way more skillful than I am. He's got all the tricks. Like his skills are a joke. I think I keep it a lot simpler than he does. I think where he's a lot smarter than I am, he tends to sometimes get a little bit too smart for his own good. Well, no, sorry, that's unfair. That's unfair. I think when you've got as many tricks as he's got, it can be easy to maybe overcomplicate it a little bit, or you certainly got more to think about, because he's got he can swing it, nip it, do whatever with it. Whereas I'm purely thinking of one thing. I'm thinking hit the top of off, wobble seam, hope it does something.
Would you say you're more of a 4-day bowler then, right? But he's obviously very skillful in T20s and stuff. But
Yeah,
you're more suited to those types of situations. But he can do it all, obviously.
yeah. I mean, I'm mainly talking about Red Bull because that's obviously probably where our partnership lies.
Yeah.
I just think in Red Bull he's so skillful. Like I don't think people fully appreciate how skillful he is. I think he's been unfairly put in the category of not quite quick enough, whereas actually he's not slow.
Yeah.
There are a lot of guys around that have been spoken about or had their chance that he is at least at the very worst bowling the same pace as him, and he's heavy, but his skill level is. I mean, I've never seen a better apart from Jimmy Anderson. I've not seen anyone bowl a better in swinger than him.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
Like not right arm seamer anyway. We'll take out the left arm seamers, but yeah, it doesn't miss.
Got a wrist of doom, isn't he?
And then he can swing it away. He can hit the seam and nip it both ways. He's got a good bouncer.
A lot of people think he's missing the England team by being maybe 5 mile an hour slower than what they want him to be, but I don't think that's true because Ollie Robinson, as we know, is not rapid, but he's tall and he hits a heavy length, and so does Sam. So there's no reason that he can't slip in that role. Whenever.
Well, I think if you were looking at, it's impossible to go like for like.
No, literally impossible.
Like no one will ever do what he's done in the game. But in terms of like the same skill set, and I think if you're looking, the one thing you lose with Jimmy Anderson is that banker with the new ball. Wherever you are in the world, the new ball is going to be the most important time. And he's the one man you can be like, right, he's a banker. He's not going to. He's going
waste
to
it.
ask the right questions. He's not going to waste it. And I think the only other person I look at, outside of him that's floating around that I would have the same sort of faith in would be Sam Cook. I think, at the very least, he's going to whack a length, he's going to whack the seam, and he's going to ask questions.
Hashtag Sam Cook for England. Let's go.
Well, one thing I've always wanted to talk about is obviously, I think Cookie went to university and came through the Essex setup, hasn't he? He's basically a local Chelmsford lad, brought up around the corner from the ground, wasn't he? What about your backstory with cricket? Because you weren't a professional cricketer from a young age, were you?
Yeah, my story was, so how far back do you want me to take it?
Oh, crawling.
So I did Essex age groups, and then kind of randomly the opportunity to kind of be a part of the Middlesex Academy come up. So I kind of took that because I grew up in Ilford, so like close to London, so like Middlesex Essex border. So I went to Middlesex for a couple of years. Didn't work out there. I say didn't work out, like the opportunities kind of fizzled out. Went on the YCs for 3 years, which was like the perfect place for me because I was nowhere near ready to play professional cricket when I went on to the YCs. I at least come off with like an understanding of, okay, if you want to make a career out of this, it's more than just being able to bowl a cricket ball. Like, I realised that there are a lot of people that can bowl pretty balls and get people out. But so yeah, I kind of come off that with kind of an idea of how to be a professional cricketer, and then still didn't have a contract or anything. So went and got a job. Wasn't too sure what I was going to do.
What were you doing?
I was working in medical recruitment.
Interesting.
So, yeah, recruiting speech and language therapists, which was good. I enjoyed it. It was good fun. It was kind of like, I think when you've your whole, I don't know, short life, but all you've known is play cricket, and all your friends, you're in that period where, from 18 to 21, your friends who have gone to uni or got jobs, they're living their own life. So to kind of dip into their world, I was having the time of my life. But it was, the first time in 3 years I was able to do what everyone else was doing. But then, out of the blue, the kind of opportunity came up at Essex, and that was the beginning of 2014, and then, by the end of that season, I made my debut and pretty much played ever since.
It's a good story.
Nice.
It's a great story. You got a taste of the real world. You probably appreciate it slightly differently to a lot of people.
Yeah, I think once you've done that, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed working, but it got to March, and I see all my friends who are in pre-season, and I'm in an office and I've got 25 days annual leave for the year, whereas in cricket, really, you in the summer you've got a couple of days off here, a couple of days off there, and then you got 3 months off in the winter or whatever it is. So it's I was starting to miss all the time off.
Sounds all right, that, when you think about it like
that. It's never as bad as it seems.
That's why I miss weekends, just being when I was playing, just missing every weekend with friends and family. The weekends just don't exist in fun.
Yeah, that's definitely the schedule this year is not. Weekends don't exist anymore.
No, never did. Well, maybe they'll sort it out. I know you guys are all pretty vocal about it, and the amount of like literally heard it from all pros has been probably the loudest ever. So if nothing comes from it, I'll be,
I just think
proper surprised.
So my issue with it is it's not necessarily for like someone like me. At least for me, I know my routine. I'm going to play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday off, Wednesday, Thursday train, play. Like if you're a second team player or like a fringe player, so you need to get some cricket in the second team, but then you're going to travel with the first team, maybe play, maybe not. You're never getting a day off.
You've got no life.
You won't get a day off till August.
It is putrid.
It is. It's relentless for them.
Aaron Beard. So I was coaching the Saka lads against Essex v Kent at Billericay a few weeks ago, and Beardy, you were playing Durham, I think, that week. The first team, you up at Durham's, obviously a long way from Essex, and Beardy got called up into the squad day 2 of this game. Whereas we left us to drive up separately to you guys to Durham from Essex, because if he wasn't going to play in the 11, he wasn't staying up to do 12 man. He was driving back down to play in the 2s away at Hampshire.
Let's drive to South. Yeah, to drive down to Southampton. Him and Ben Allison. To be fair to Essex, though, like our coaches have been brilliant with that, because they've given, like, Ben Allison and Aaron Beard are the two that have been in that category, and they've given them breaks here and there. So I think Beardy got a break, Benny went down, but then he got a week off after that. So they've been good like that. But yeah, it's such a Like they're the guys I feel sorry for.
Yeah, it'll improve. It has to. Well, it has to because it's not right. It's just, I mean, mental health's a big deal now, so it can't be ignored. It
Yeah.
won't be ignored. Right. Talking about you and in the wickets, is it nearly 500 or 500?
Nearly. Jordan Cox knows the exact number. He tells me after every bowl.
No, I hope you don't know actually, because as soon as you know, I was stuck on 99 once for like a whole season.
What?
Yeah, well, I think when I was on 398 for like 2 games, which killed me a few years ago. One of them was against Somerset, actually. I don't know if you played that game. The flattest thing on earth. That was the flattest wicket. We'd still be out there now, 2 years later.
I think I missed that one, mate. I
Yeah,
think I pulled
If
up
you
with that
didn't
one.
play on that one, yeah, good one to miss. I know Cookie missed it. Career, he's good at missing the flat
It's
ones.
not done, mate.
I mean, like that format. What format was it? I can't even remember. It might have been T20s or something. And obviously, we didn't play. We play all 3 formats. So in terms of season, it's like you got to wait another 4 months to have another crack at it. So it's pretty annoying. Anyway,
Yeah.
where do you keep a big ass tally of all the? Do you do the same thing as Cookie and have a weird ass black book
That's
or a
great.
death note?
It's so good that he's got that.
No,
I'm in it.
Surely you want one though. I reckon you were slightly jealous about it. Slightly.
No, just because. No, I feel bad for saying this. Just because I know that I could go and put a bigger one next to his.
Yay.
It won't last. One day his will be bigger than mine, but not while I'm playing, thankfully. Well, hopefully not. But no, I don't. I don't know if you've noticed, but reading and writing's not my strength. So yeah, no autocorrect in that black book, is there? So
We could get you a
it'd
simple
be
one.
embarrassing when you can't spell the lads' names. So I'll try to keep check of the guys. So like, there's a few guys that have got like multiple times.
Yes. Who?
Keaton Jennings, although I didn't get him last year, which wound me up, but normal service resumed this year. I
We
got
do
him
actually
again.
have this coming up later in the podcast, the guest stat alert, where we're going to ask you to name, well, we could tell you your top 11 that you've got out, and they're all guns. Kookaburra, yes, no, indifferent, thoughts? The ball, obviously, not the bird.
I'm on the fence. I'm not against it. I actually, I know it's unpopular. I quite like bowling with it. I just think,
Oh
like,
my
yes,
god.
it's when it goes soft, yeah, it's not fun to bowl with. But I find that, I don't know, for me, I like things to be simple, and there's nothing more simple than bowling with a kookaburra ball because it doesn't swing. It doesn't nip when it goes soft, so it's just running and bowl pretty much. I just try and I find it's just simple, and I don't mind it because I feel like at the end of the day, I got really frustrated when, was it a couple of years ago, when basically anyone who's got any wickets with the Dukes is crap, was the narrative in the media. So I was like, well, give us a kookaburra then, because I think I was quite outspoken about it, because I was like, I want my wickets to be valued. I want, I don't mind if it's hard. Like, it's not, I think we get it quite easy a lot of the time anyway. Although I've changed my tune from 2 days ago when I was saying this is the flattest wicket I've ever bowled on.
I love how chirpy you can get on socials, mate. I think you've chirped KP before online, haven't you?
Yeah, apparently. I don't remember
Right down.
it. Yeah. I just, he called someone pathetic or something, and I was like, anyway, you can call anyone pathetic when from like a phone, can't you? I was like,
Go on, sir.
Bye.
there's something about that word, I just don't like it. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, so it was a kookaburra ball.
For someone that's not playing anymore, how come there's been so many high scores this year? Is it wickets, the ball, batting? Is it like, what do you think it is? And is it for the good of the game as well?
I think the kookaburra ball definitely played a part in it, especially because when that ball gets wet, that's it, game over. You can't bowl with it. So obviously, first 2 games of the year when we probably had the wettest start to a season that I've ever known. Done not great planning really. And then also like 8 points for a draw. I think the teams that are down the bottom half, they're kind of relying on drawing. I know that we're going to go to Canterbury next week, and it's, I could see 3 new balls. So
Get good at picking them.
that's just what it is. Like,
well, Warwickshire and
I
Worcester,
don't pick them. So
everyone's played 6 games now, and you're more than 2/3 of the way through. So I've looked at the league table briefly, and I think Warwickshire and Worcester are the only 2 teams that haven't won a game yet. But neither of them in their bottom 3. They're both like Warwickshire 4th or 5th, and Worcester 7th, I think. And like Lancs are bottom. They've lost the most, but they've managed to get a win, but they're still bottom. So you've got to be quite clever with your home pitches, I guess, and see how you want to target your wins, I guess, and try and stay in Div 1, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, for us, we'll only ever try and win. I think, we're fortunate that we've won a lot of games, like the group of players we've got now. So yes, you do kind of take it for granted a little bit, but it kind of, the attitude of, a draw just doesn't mean anything to us. But there's obviously, you can save a game and draw, and that can feel like a win. But yeah, I just think if you want to win the championship, you have to win games, and
particularly home games.
I don't like the idea of. I think if you start a game thinking, we don't want to lose, well, you're never going to win.
Mm-hmm. No, 100%.
You can only draw or lose if that's your attitude. I think, and yeah, I just think it's a dangerous way to play.
Going back to Jamie Porter, the bowler solely, you've obviously had loads of success since you pulled on Essex shirt, and England took note of that in 2018, was it? You came close to making your debut. Do you reckon, because I know a lot of people be like, well, of course he wants to still aspire to play for England, but it's not always the case for some people.
Yeah.
Is that something you want?
Yeah, I think I'd be lying to anyone if I said I don't still dream of playing for England. I think it's something you just can't. You either want to play for England or you don't. And once you decide you want to, and I think it's worse once you've had a taste of it.
Yeah.
You've been, I've been and fielded at point. I don't know what I was doing at point, but I fielded a point in a test match. So, I've actually been out on the field and so yeah, I still wake up in the morning and think about it. If I have a good game, I think you never know. Look, I think my time's been and gone. I think there are guys so many good bowlers now, and they're all in their mid to early 20s. Some of them. So
was that a really hard
okay
time? You got injured around that time, and would you put it down to that? And how did you recover from that?
I think it was a hard time coming out of it, but I think a lot of it's on me. I still don't know exactly what it was, but I look at it and say if I'd have bowled as well as I had bowled the 2 years, like 2017, 2018, if I'd have carried that into 2019, I probably would have played at some point. But I didn't. I didn't bowl very well in 2019. I couldn't tell you why. It took me till probably August to actually feel like I had any sort of rhythm or any sort of control over my game. And ultimately, I think that allowed other people to overtake me. And by the time I kind of, it probably took me up until the last 2 years to really feel like I got back to my best. There were injuries along the way, but I don't think, I don't have any excuses as to why I didn't play, or I don't have any bitterness to it, because ultimately it's not about, if I'd have gone in and I'd have played and then still bowled the same I did in 2019, well, it'd have been a short career anyway. So,
you never know. It might have. Sometimes, like I've gone to county, bowled a load of shit, and everyone's been like, "Oh, she's not great." Like, I thought she was meant to be good, and then I go back to international, I'd bowl way better, and I'd be properly fuming. Sometimes you could just turn it on.
Big game player, aren't you?
You don't know if that would have happened for you. It might have been just like that bit of spark you needed to run in harder, or
I don't really know, to be honest. It's so there is definitely a case of if I knew now what I knew, if I knew then what I know now, because like definitely like this stage in my career, I feel like I am fortunate enough to lean on experience.
Mm.
I think most of it's just mental, is
Yeah.
actually understanding that it's okay to bowl crap balls. You know, when I was going through that period, you know, I would bowl a bad ball and think, you know, I would properly beat myself up about it. I'd be like, that's not good enough. Like, and you just think that every ball you bowl is under the microscope, and you think everything has to be flawless. And actually, like, it doesn't matter.
Well, I know
All that
that
matters
feeling.
is
I've been there, mate.
ultimately trying to
I've
win a
been there
game
as
of
well.
cricket.
Big time.
Yeah, like that was probably the hardest thing I was going through. Like when I look back on it, like that was, I was just thinking, well, what was I doing? Like, but when you're in it, you just, yeah, you can't see anything else. You're only thinking about playing for England, even when, you know, you're bowling at, you know, you're playing against, you know, Somerset, Middlesex, whoever it is at Chelmsford, where England's doesn't mean a thing to the blokes playing in that
I
game.
think it's almost open season now, though. Not obviously with Jimmy going after one more game, no more Broad, a few injuries flying around, the likes of Oaksey, near the end of their career. They keep talking about all the fast bowlers like Jofra and Ollie Stone and these boys, but they have to obviously stay fit for a period of time. But for me, it's open season, particularly in England in the summer. If you're going well, right place, right time, you just don't know what can happen. So maybe, I mean, deep down, I don't know how you feel, but if you generally feel your time's gone, but it might keep you a bit more relaxed and less tense about thinking about it. It might happen to you anyway.
If I'm thinking about it, right, Jamie, like if I'm the selectors, I'm thinking what I've just heard you say there. I'm thinking he's more valuable to me now. Like you say, you've got so much more experience. Experience is everything, and then just your mindset. Like you're mentally better in the game. Like you can deal with that high level stuff now. You might have come to play for England. They might have introduced you when you said you weren't feeling that great in 2019. Got a bit of tap, and that could have ruined you. But like I think you're way more valuable to them now in the like life position you're in, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose, yeah, there's so many different ways to look at it. Like, I definitely think if I was to get the call up, like I remember when I got the call up in 2018, like the most commonly asked question was like, "Do you think you're ready?" And my answer was always, "Well, I don't know. I'll tell you if I play." But then, like now, I think if I was asked that question, I'd say, "Well, if I'm not like, yeah, because if I'm not ready now, then what am I doing?" You know. But so yeah, like I think, you know, like if I ever did get the call up, I'd be ready for it. But I'm also like, you know, I suppose I'm at a stage in my life where I've been through, you know, I walked off the field in a game in 2022. Yeah, not last year before. First game of the season, I thought I was going to retire. So, like, so now I'm kind of at a stage where like I'm just happy to be bowling well and playing, and whatever happens, happens. You know, like life's way more. Like, there's other things going on, and it's not like the center of my universe anymore. So,
And that's such a great place to be. I honestly wish I could go back and think like that much, that differently. I think I would have gone through my career with a lot less stress. You just put yourself through shit for no reason with all these stupid, irrational thoughts that you just linger on for fucking ages, and it's so annoying. And then you grow up and you're like, oh, being hit for four is like not life and death. What was
but there
that?
are times where it does feel like life and death.
Yeah, well, it is
Like
to you, isn't it?
honestly, for like 75% of my career, if someone hit me for four, I'd look at them like they had no right to do it.
Sorry, mate. Sorry about that.
And I just,
Jimmy was the same. Jimmy used to speak about that all the time, but that's what made him so fucking good, and that's why I became really consistent, like with my lines and lengths. I would just be fucking relentless because I just wanted to be obsessed with where I would bowl it, and I wanted to make it feel like they couldn't breathe and they had to do something they didn't want to do, and I would be like, oh, if I crack first, it'll be you, sort of thing. So I used to love that sort of like mental battle that just turned me into a bit of a loose cannon, and I think you're way more controlled mentally than me.
I don't know. Brooksy's seen a few.
Yeah, I think we've
There's
all
been
got to
a
have
few
that. I
meltdowns.
think we've
What's he
all.
like, Brooksy? Is he
Do
wild?
you know what? I love this chat because you get to hear similar things to how you felt without ever really discussing it around. And obviously, like Brunty's an angry opening bowler as much as we all are. It's just great to hear that everyone is of a similar mind. That we're all pretty much a similar animal underneath it all. We've all probably that's why we got to where we did with our careers, really, or why we are new ball bowlers in a way, because it could be quite volatile, can't it? Because your job is there to get wickets, but then if you're not getting wickets or you're getting panned for runs, you think, well, I'm never playing again now. I'm rubbish. I can't do this anymore. And then suddenly, you bowl again half an hour later or the next day, and he bowls for fun again or whatever. And it's a bit
I
like,
think
well,
this mental attitude gives you longevity. I think.
Yeah, that's actually, I was going to ask you guys a question. So, what do you think is the difference between the player that goes on to play over 100 games and the person that plays 20, 25?
I think a mixture of things. I'll go if you want, Jack.
you go.
A bit of ticker. So you got to have a big ticker. You've got to be resilient as in terms of like just really wheeling yourself out weekly to put yourself under all that stress and anxiety, like the fact that you're not living a normal life. So you've got to be. I mean, I got my resilience from school, and really strict parenting. So I think you can't buy resilience. Like if you go through a really terrible injury, if you come out the other side of it, you can learn that in abundance. So I'm like a bit of heart, a bit of passion and resilience, and then just wanting it. Like it's easy to quit, isn't it? It's so.
I think,
What do you reckon, Jack?
I can only really give my viewpoint, but then looking at playing with guys who did play a lot of cricket, resilience is a massive one. Not wanting to back down from a tough situation in a game, because there's plenty of times when you're going to be up against it and you've got to want to bowl tough overs. I think you've got to get a little bit of luck with physically. I think physically to play that many games, you've got to get quite lucky over a long period of time. But that's, obviously, if you're committed to keeping fit and doing the right things, then you're only going to help yourself anyway. So there's a little bit of ability. You obviously be good enough for a long period of time, but I think so much of it comes down to your desire to get stuck in and want to be the person to turn the game and go through pain. Because I don't think any of us, probably than our first ever game, played a game or a day of cricket or bowled an over without being in some sort of discomfort or pain. And the minute you start bowing down to that, it's a bit like, well, why are you doing it? Why are you? You've got to enjoy it in a sick way, haven't you?
Yeah.
You literally, I had this chat with Cookie the other day, and I was like, he was just talking to me about how I can't wait to feel loose, and I was like before I bowl, I said, mate, like I don't like feeling loose when I bowl. That's when everything tends to go wrong. I'm not used to it. I actually I like being a bit stiff because like that feels more normal. That's what rhythm feels like to me, being a little bit tight and just bowling.
Yeah, well, it makes you bowl. You've got to sort of bowl harder, haven't you? Just get through it, get pain barrier off and running, and then you're in.
Yeah, it means I can't do like 75, 80%. Like I have to actually bowl the thing.
In the last sort of, after my second surgery, I think I've played the last 10 years at about 70%. And then I was on the fringe of another back surgery in 21. And it's just, honestly, just keep turning up. It's hard. It's hard. But for that 90% of all the crap, traveling, scheduling, playing in some of the harder places that you play, missing family, all the things you do, which is like 90%, for the 10% of how you feel when you get on and it's coming out like the way you like it just makes up for it, doesn't it? And
100%.
that's what makes you sick in the head and keep going back.
Yeah, that's literally it.
None of us can walk in about 15 years.
That's.
Hey, Brooksy, I've got to carry a baby. I'm not sure about this.
Well, there's this as well, because obviously Port's, your mindset and everything has probably changed. Just to be a bit of a dad, aren't you? And I'm a young father now. I didn't have much of a career as a dad. But then Brunty's talking about going to be a mum, hopefully in the not too distant future. How's that affected you with your prep and how you approach the game and everything around that?
Do you know what it's brought me? It's made so it's definitely made me more level. It's I used to come back if I bowled crap, and I'd hate life, hate it. Like I just couldn't let it go. Whereas now, like I noticed it last year, like if I didn't feel like a bowl great, I didn't have a minute to think about it when I got home. But then also, whenever I had a good day, the minute I got home again, just felt pretty chilled. You know, didn't feel too high, didn't get too excited about it, and it was quite nice because then I realised, oh, actually, you know, first class cricket started to feel like club cricket again. You know, where I'm just playing the game. It's not, yes, I want to win and I give everything I've got, but it is not the be all and end all. And yeah, I've only just started to feel that. And you know, I remember being young, like in awe of the senior players, how like, you know, I was just a bundle of nerves and energy, and the senior players just look so calm and chilled and don't seem to really care. And I was like, oh, I can't wait for that to be me. And a couple of years ago, thinking, well, this ain't ever going to be me. Like, I'm still all over the shop, and yeah, first time in my career starting to feel very relaxed about cricket.
Great leveler, isn't it? Nothing really matters when you get home, does it? Once you've got a crying baby or a smiling baby to deal with.
She does not care. No, she couldn't care less.
Welcome
She's
back
more
to life.
interested in it. Yeah, she's more interested in making me
Suffer.
play. Yeah, chase around the kitchen 20 times after I've just done 150 overs in the
Stiff
field.
back and a bleeding front toe.
Yeah, that's it.
Teach her how to play Sleeping Lions. I feel like that's the one.
Hide and seek.
Yeah, no, do you know what the worst one is? It's Hop Little Bunnies. It's the song. She makes me do it in the dining room every morning, like before I go. We have to lay down on the floor, slaps me on the chest. She's like, "Wake up, little bunny!" We have to jump
This
up and
needs
down
to
in the
be
dining room.
filmed and put on your Instagram, please.
That's no one.
Or
needs
you could
to see
send
it
it to us privately and we'll put it on here.
Honestly, you've never seen a man take so long to get from the laying position to jumping. It's not good.
How good
She's contributing.
Mm.
She's contributing to your morning mobility for the game, so you can't complain.
Yeah. Tell you what is scary. She likes her cricket. She's got a bat, which
Yes.
you could. So she thinks batting is tapping. You know, she obviously watches the streams and she comes to watch the games. And the one thing she's picked up on is when batters tap the wicket. So I said to her before I put her to bed, "Oh, Daddy's going to pick up some new kit. Do you want me to get you a bat tomorrow?" She's like, "Yeah." So I brought it back, and she's so happy, and she just walked around the kitchen, just tapping the floor, just like I'm like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "This is what Daddy does."
Oh wow!
I definitely don't bat long enough to do that.
Well, as long as she's tapping and not battering the floor, that would be better. Anyway, right, we've got to get to this next section. It's the Cricket Archive guest stat alert siren. You hear that siren, Jamie? It's horrific, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, Jack, go for it.
Yeah, that you reckon you know who you've dismissed the most times. So we've got a list of 12, so a team of 11 plus a 12 man that you've dismissed more than 5 times in first class matches. And if you could name them, then fair play to you. There's no prize, but I just wondered if you could name those top 12.
Some good ones.
I reckon I can. So I reckon Keaton Jennings.
So Jennings is 5 times.
I don't think he's number one.
5 times. There's a few more than him.
5 times. Alex Davies.
Alex Davies, 7.
That's the bunny rabbit.
Proper.
Nice.
Is he
Wake
number
up,
one?
bunny.
He asked me today if he was number one. Yeah. Hop little bunny.
There's a couple of 6s in there actually.
Adam Lyth.
Adam Lyth, 5.
A 6, 5. Mark Stoneman.
Stoneman, 5. Another test opener. In fact, they're all batters except one.
I know who the bowler is.
And my old mate from Yorkshire.
Steve Patterson. Yeah. Go Eagle. Yeah.
Oh no, he's 6
I reckon
as well.
only one of them was genuinely out. Right, this is where it gets tricky. I reckon there's got to be another opener.
It's a current test opener in there.
Oh, Ducky.
Former guest on this
Have I got him
podcast.
how
You've
many
got him out
times?
5 times.
It feels like because I played against him at the start,
There's
a little bit through the middle, and then lately I've not played.
There's 3 other guys on there that have opened the batting for England in recent years as well.
Hasib Hamid.
Hasib Hamid 5
Nice.
times.
God, you've got it. This is what is there left? Like one?
No, he's got about 5 left.
What?
Two of them play for
Oh, yeah.
Somerset currently.
Abel.
6 times.
I think because I've bowled the middle of his bat enough.
You must not care about his wicket.
I'll run through the rest.
No, I do. I don't enjoy bowling at the time.
I'll run through the rest. You got Dom Sibley 5 times. Rory Burns 5 times. Scott Borthwick 5 times. And Sean Dixon 5 times.
I didn't realise. Yeah, I realised I played enough against some of them because it feels like I haven't played Dixon that much. But again, I played him quite a bit at the
You know
start.
what? If you had a little black book, mate, you'd probably remember.
Yeah, we'll send you one. Don't worry, your daughter can keep a tally for you if you don't want to write now.
Yeah,
anyway,
she's got does it on the patio, chalk.
Yeah, nice. The PCA MVP update. So you and Sam obviously been dominating that since the beginning of the season. He's slightly ahead of you in the overall standings, but obviously batting, it's a batter's world, isn't it? If you're an all-rounder, you're absolutely laughing.
We're calling Sam an all-rounder now.
What?
Night Goose, isn't he?
You know, he's put a picture of Jack Callis.
Oh God!
Nice.
Really?
Yeah. He's got to get confidence up.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a hard job. He's a night watchman, isn't he? How's he doing with that?
Porter used to be night watchman when I played against Essex.
I know. I don't miss it.
So after the latest round of games, the men's MVP, Rob Yates, is still top, even though he had a reasonably quiet week against you guys. But David Beddingham has rocketed up to second after his twin centuries against Lancs. In the same game, Keaton Jennings also got 200s, and he scored the highest individual MVP score of the season. He's up to fourth, and Daniel Bell-Drummond, the Kent captain, is in between them in third at the minute. So, like Katherine said, it is dominated by batsmen at the minute. How about the women's? What's the women's MVP looking like?
Yeah, so we're not so much like that. We've moved a bit more onto the all-rounders. You can't really call Kirsty Gordon all-rounder, but she would kill me if I didn't. So we got her at the top, which she is absolutely buzzing about. She's one of them characters that I think you'd like her, actually. She'd be a good Essex player. She's fiery, absolutely loves getting stuck in everything. Like, when her team's been pants, like Blaze have been pants, but they've had top 5 missing. They've had Nat missing, Tammy missing, both the Scottish girls because they had to go off in the qualifiers, and who was the other one? Another batter. It was like they had no chance, and Kirsty got promoted to opening. Absolute nosebleeds. Anyway, she's at the top, and then I think Davina Perrin.
She's good.
Is at the top of the Charlotte Edwards Cup. Yeah, she's got loads of potential, actually. It's just about putting it together.
She's only young, though. I was coaching her this winter when I was with the Sparks, and I saw her, and I was like, gee, she strikes the ball proper well. And she can bowl spin and seam. And she's only 18, 19. I think she's going to be proper.
Yeah, she's young. Yeah, she's properly new on the scene. I thought you might have seen her at the Sparks. But yeah, she smacked 79 off 48 bowls, so she's doing all right.
Wolves
and she's
fan,
in the 19s.
Struggling. She's a Wolves fan. Huh? She's a Wolves fan, so she won't go far.
Oh, she can get in the bin. Yeah, bad enough.
Right. Under the lid's big question. As all our listeners will know, this show is all about getting the truth behind life as a professional cricketer. Every week we ask our guest for one piece of information, Ports, that most people do not know about them, and hopefully it's not cricket related. It's quirky, the better.
I've crashed my car twice on my own drive in the space of 30 seconds.
Oh no. Was the first one pure shock? You fuming and just floored it?
Yeah, first one was front bumper, second one was rear bumper. Both.
Dodgems. Brilliant.
Yeah, that was... Yeah, I blame Dan Lawrence. He turned my parking sensors off.
My parking sensors they're crucial.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm not sure if I could go back in time now.
Oh God.
It's like,
that's very funny, mate. I've enjoyed that.
Yeah, I was not happy about that.
Right, Jamie, we've reached the last bit of the pod. You'll be happy to know because we're all knackered. It's about midnight. And this bit's called the last round.
Nap quiz.
Right, you've got to answer as many questions as you can in 60 seconds. We've got the scoreboard up now, I believe. And we'll try and do it as quick for you as we can. We were really pants with Ben Duckett, weren't we? And we screwed him over a little bit, but we'll help you out because we like you.
Yeah, we've got better.
And at the end of the season, when we've finished all the pods, we're currently trying to get, and it'll take us ages to do, but we're trying to sort out some saucy prize. And we believe it could be at like a really nice round of golf somewhere, like proper,
yes.
somewhere proper. So it'll be worth, whatever it is, it'll be worth having. But we've got to get the sponsors on the go, haven't we? So, right. So this is worth concentrating. What's the leaderboard like, Jack?
The leaderboard is as current. Ollie Hannon-Dolby with 8 is top, followed by Charlie Dean 7,
Decent.
Sam Cook with 6. So you probably just want to beat Cookie initially, don't you? Katie Levick and Ben Duckett are joint bottom with 4. You'll be read, mate. So
Right.
Are you ready?
That should be all right. Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
What score did Matt Critchley finish with in Essex victory over Warwickshire?
99 not out.
Sweet. Who do Essex begin their Vitality Blast campaign against?
Somerset.
Wrong. Which
Gloucestershire.
Kent all-rounder was your maiden victim in professional cricket?
Darren Stevens.
Correct. Sam Cook and yourself have the equal highest number of first-class dismissals this season. How many wickets have you taken?
Between us or
No, each.
alone? 28
Correct.
each.
Name one of the 2 players the bowling ends at the county ground in Essex are named after.
Sir Alistair
Yeah.
Cook and Graham
Yeah.
Gooch.
What badger? Which former Essex fast bowler captains the PCA England Legends? Essex fast bowler.
Essex fast bowler. John Lever.
No.
No.
What's
Yes.
your highest score in professional cricket?
34.
Correct.
Yes. Which famous film director was also born in Leytonstone?
Which famous
Director.
actor? Director Guy Ritchie.
No.
Nope.
Who has scored the most runs for Essex so far this season?
Jordan Cox.
Correct.
Yes. It was Alfred Hitchcock.
Oh,
It's an old
He's
school
got-
name, that,
never
isn't it?
getting that.
Yeah, you got set up there. I
Was
wouldn't have
it-
got that in a million
Was
years.
it Tudes?
Yeah, Tudes, yeah.
Tudes the captain. Yeah, I should have known that.
Damn. Well, you knew it.
You got
Just need a
6,
few
mate.
more.
You got 6.
Yeah,
So you plonked
thank-
yourself into joint
Yeah.
3rd with
I
Sam
thought you
Cook.
did really
You
well.
literally
there.
cannot.
I
You and
thought-
Sam cannot be
I thought I did
divided.
all right. No. It's got to follow us around for a long time now.
Mate, that's awesome.
I thought that you did well. I'm not sure how you've only got 6. It felt like you're doing really well.
No, you smashed
Yeah.
it. And you've been an unbelievable guest.
I'll take
mate,
it.
as well.
I beat Ducky, so I'm happy.
Yeah, you smashed Duckett and you beat Nat Sciver-Brunt,
Also, let
whoever
me
that
just
is.
tell you, you says you've bowled the most maidens in Division 1 this season.
Boring.
I think I bowled the most overs. So.
You like Pato, mate.
I'll,
Pato of the South.
But you know what? I reckon this. Yeah, it's very rare for me to bowl that many maidens, so I'll take it.
I love that.
Usually getting carted for 4. So,
But you don't care about that anymore, do you? So
nah, just one.
Mate, good.
None for 100, 5 for 100. It's insane.
Mate,
It's
thanks
not. It's
so
not.
much. We're probably keeping you up. It's getting late on the Monday night after you've won a game the previous day, but have a really
No,
enjoyable
it's
and successful
good.
rest of the summer, mate. I'm sure I'll see you on the circuit. It's great to see you back in the polls, bud.
Will do.
I'm sure we'll have a beer at some point, but have a great one and good luck for the rest of the summer.
lovely to meet you, Jamie.
Cheers. Yeah, great to see you both. And yeah.
Well, man,
Let's
what do you
go
reckon?
back.
Someone you've never met before.
Great. Well, do you know when we got into it, we loosened up a bit and got into some questions. It was great.
Proper
Wasn't
nausea
it?
with seam bowling and fast
Yeah.
bowling, wasn't it?
Yeah, getting the ins and outs of all the stuff, you, like you said, you don't really talk about or know that you share with your fellow seamers.
Get under the lid.
So
didn't we?
it's-
Got real under the
Yeah,
lid.
we got right under that lid. I was well happy with that. He's a legend. I love it. In fact, they're both legends.
Can't go
If
wrong.
I was a coach, I'd love to
Essex lads.
go down to Essex. Yeah,
They're
fact.
always good value. Promise you. There's no bad
Mm.
eggs in that changing room.
No.
Listener feedback. We've got some from last week. No surprise there. Let's go through it. Wall to wall
Great.
love for the Sciver-Brunts. Obs. Firstly, from Banana Brooks, no relation. Best pod yet. K&N, not shy of airing the nitty gritty. Admirable. Venki, what an episode. Love you, Nat. Heart emoji. Ithaca
Lovely.
Thakor, what a lovely episode. So excited for the Sciver-Brunts. I'm sure they'd be excellent parents. All the best, guys.
Oof, hope so. It's yeah. That's the question, isn't it? You always hope that for yourself, don't you?
Well, you never know what
That's the
sort of
lingering
parent you'll be till
question.
it comes along, but then you'll just be like, wow, this is it now. Boom. Your mate,
Georgia.
Georgina Hurst, that you promised to cricket back to, she's got back in touch.
Yeah, but remember what you said. Like, let's we've only got so many bats, so I am happy to do that. It is happening, and I believe we have your address now. So
You're going to hand deliver it. You're going to
It's
turn
good.
up on a murky Tuesday night and go, hello, where's your cricket bat?
I think that would scare myself. But that's on the way to you too, so fabulous. Can't wait to send that because it needs to be put to good use. As always, we'd love your feedback. That was a great one actually this week. I think that's a good good amount. So, but let's aim for some questions next week. It'd be great if you could send in some questions based on, I don't know, all the guests we've had in, or myself and Jack, and if you want to know anything juicy about us. So get your questions in. Hashtag under the lid, and hello@underthelid.co.uk, and don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah, thanks for getting on the lid with us, everybody. It's been a great pod, fun week. Hope you enjoyed it. But yeah, hit subscribe, leave a review, tell your mates. We'll see you soon, and we've got to have another great guest next week.